So this is Roseborough, or particularly Roseborough Inn. It's a fairly large town, really, with some very interesting sights attached to it. It's got the Ring of Bovar, whatever that is, the massive inn, which is like a castle, and pretty much a pretty decently sized village just spread all around. And more importantly for us, the graveyard, because we like committing crimes. I want to look around at things. I want to just see things. I don't think in all my playthroughs of this, I never really explored things in here, and I really do regret that, because some of the things in here are just fantastic. Let's start with this. The plaque reads, This stone was found in the middle of the ring of Brogar. I said Brovar. Brogar. This meaning of the markings on its face are unknown. It was moved here to protect it from the ravages of tourism. I guess this meant the management or the mink? The stone carved in what looks like to be an old runes and numbers. Ah. Oh, this would be so easy if I had a grid. It's directions. It's gotta be directions. South 30, southeast 40. So that just kind of takes... okay, so if I'm imagining a compass in my head, you're basically... at that point, you are south... yeah, you're southeast 10 at that point. Northeast 20. That would take you... that would just make you pretty much east at that point. Southeast 15. Oh, fuck's sake, now we're adding extra numbers to it. Is this meant to be a set of directions? Or something to walk into? Or is it just a code for the thing? Unless it's something to do with walking inside the Ring of Bovar, that'd be interesting. Probably not, be a big waste of time, but I'll check it out later. That seems really interesting. Alright, let's talk to Jason. He was going to tell us about the Ring of Broadvar. Oh, he's also an expert at traps. Hello, Jason. You have some questions? Certainly. I'll answer his main questions. What can I help you with? What are you doing out here, Jason? Well, my good man, I'm studying the Ring of Brodgar. Studying it? Why? I've always been fascinated with the Ring of Brodgar. It is strange. The histories always mention the Black Spire synonymously with the Ring of Brodgar, but its meaning is lost in antiquity. Perhaps it symbolizes the power of wards. I do not know. I came here to study wards and to see how they're holding up. Wards? Yes, that rift that Nazareth created when banishing Aranax required all the great mages from the Age of Legends to set up powerful wards around the ring in order to keep the rift sealed. Why wouldn't they be holding up? Technology has spread throughout the land at an amazing pace. I fear that the I never heard that word. I'm gonna begrudgingly look up this word because I have no idea how it's pronounced, and I do like to get it right. Propensity. Not prop. No, I don't want to look up prop hunts, thank you. How do you say it? Propensity. Is that really how it sounds? Propensity would cause the wards to weaken. That's why I'm here, to ascertain the strength of the wards. What have you found? The results of my studies are quite puzzling, as I suspect the wards are weakening, but at a rate much accelerated than I originally calculated. What happens if the wards fail? I am sure that the great mages placed such powerful wards in a place for purpose, but many years have passed. The knowledge has been lost to us. I fear if they were about to fall, something terrible would occur. That's very worrisome. What do you know about the Ring of Brodgar? The Ring of Brodgar is the exact spot where Nazareth banished the evil Aranax after their epic battle. Apparently, the banishment spell created a tremendous opening, or rift, between our world and that of the Void, and I haven't done my timer on. I am so professional. Goddamn, I am hopeless googling words and all that. There is nothing wrong with googling words. I want to get them right. It's just a thing I have. It's not very, looks very good. Well, I don't know what you want from me. What did they do to close it? The few great mages that survived the battle had to erect the ring in order to seal the rift. I've read that they placed magical walls of tremendous power throughout the ring to keep the seal in place. That's incredible. Those mages must have been very powerful. Oh yeah. I've learned many things from the great minds gathered at the great university in Toronto. My most extensive studies were in the College of Chemistry and Electrical. I've earned full degrees in both areas. What about your studies in the field of magic? Tala is truly a city of wonder. The common man has not even had an inkling of an idea to the power that exists there. After much study and exhaustive practice, I was able to master the College of Temporal. The extent of your knowledge is astounding, Jason. Anything else? Do you think magic or technology will ultimately prevail? I have studied many things. I received technological training from the great university in Toronto. I have also studied magic in the wondrous city of Tulla. And through my learning, I have developed a theory. What is it? I believe that all things work in cycles. Everything natural goes through cycles of ebb and flow. I believe magic and technology are no different. There's only one major flaw in my theory. And what's that? This appears to be an initial appearance of technology. There is no known history that advanced technology existed before now. As a result, I'm unable to prove my theory. There was actually the Vendigoths. I think that the Vendigoth Waste is actually home to a dead civilization there who were technologically advanced, very advanced. Interesting theory. Have you searched science for such? Extensively, and to no avail. Say, you're a traveler. If in all your travels you come across any signs of ancient technology, I would greatly appreciate it if you would let me know. It would really help my hypothesis. I'll let you know if I see any. Is there anything else? That's it. I'm gonna check out the bar. Usually something interesting here. Usually. Do you need something, sir? What have you heard, madam? I need Survivor. Go on. That's an incredible story. Drink. She smiles, sliding closer. Place it down on your own. Thanks so much for drinking, sir. Take a long pull from a She takes a long pull from a champagne glass. Good day to you. Am I dying? Am I gonna die now? Good day to you, friend. What'd you know, friend? Oh. Give me that. Oh, he has some nice stuff. Please, the pain, show mercy. You win, leave me alone. Please don't kill me. Oh no, I must flee. Blah 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 blah. Come on. Alright, I'll just. Oh, I can't wait here. Aye, a good day to you, sir. What you know, friend? Oh no, oh, go on then. That's utterly fantastic. Buy you a drink. That's good, mate. Good drink of you. And good luck to our trials take you. What is it? Who might you be, sir? My name is Frederick. And if you must know peasant, now leave me alone. I must be going. Wow, what a dick. Leave me alone. Help, show mercy. Aye, guards. Jesus, friend, what'd you know? Just join my drink. Can you talk to me, or are you just gonna be like this? Alright then, fine. I want to take a look around the inn. I don't know if I can, but I want to take a look. I doubt we'll meet anyone that we haven't already met before. Of just, well, I meant of just the commoners and the villagers and the hoteliers and all that. This one having a sleep. That's locked. Yes, what was it? Hello, I asked you a question. Any news of pass here recently? I've heard someone's been digging up graves at the Roseborough Cemetery. I appreciate it. Oh shit, this has a pool! Can I go in? It's locked. Nice, there's a pool. Oh, the innkeeper's there. Innkeeper's having a sleep. Damn it, innkeeper. I'm not sure if there's anyone else here of particular interest. There's a wood chest. There's a book stand. Can we get it? It's locked. I don't trust my odds. As we said, this place is damn fancy. And I mean damn fancy. What about you? Let's have a chat with you. I'm a servant. What is it you need? Could you answer some questions about this matchbook? Matchbook? Looks at it. Yes, this is one of our matchbooks. What questions do you have about it, sir? I found it on a dead man at the IFS Zephyr crash. Did you know him? No, I do not know anyone. Wait, yes, there was one person who could have been. Who? Well, it was the strangest tale, really. Late one night, I noticed all manner of strange light, the sound emanating from the ring. Not long after the ruckus had ceased, a haggard and disleveled man arrived here, inquiring about a room for the night. The poor fellow looked quite a fright. What did he look like? He had quite an odd look about him, gaunt, clean-shaven, but with the features and clothing of a dwarf. Yet he could not possibly have been a dwarf. No dwarf would have I've ever heard of would sacrifice his beard to the knife. Even today, I cannot truly say I knew his race. Anything else? Yeah, no coin on him. I was about to turn away when he offered me an exceptionally fine dwarven blade as compensation. A beautiful piece that was inscribed with the initials BMC. It fetched quite a high price when I sold it. Did he say anything to you? The only other inquiry he made to me was of the quickest route to Toronto. I told him that was normally a lengthy journey, but he was in luck. The maiden voyage of the IFS Zephyr would be leaving from Caledon shortly. It was surely the quickest way to Toronto. Surely, I said surely twice. Whoops. It was not luck that brought people on board that doomed ship. Yes, the Zephyr was an incredible tragedy. Oh, yes, I let him know that he would need proper identification to board. He looked the type to be lacking such, so I referred him to a man I had heard in Caledon, Mr. Razzer, a rather shady character, but helpful when it comes to passports. So he says he's going to get on the Zephyr. Are you positive? He thanked me and went to his room. When I woke the next morning, he was gone. He did not say a word, just left. Oof, well, I told you it was a strange one. Anyway, that was the only person I know that could have been on that accursed flight. Thank you for the information. So, our friend was part of the Black Mountain Dwarfs, or at least seemingly. Well, we already know this anyway, but this just kind of confirms it anyway. Now, we have the rest of the place to look into. We're not going to go dig up the grave just yet. I'm going to probably later in the night. But for now, I want to look at the villages and see what's around there. Just to see what we can find. Also, these doors. God. Quite a view, I bet, but still. Are you moving? Thank you. We're very close to, finding the home of the Dark Elves. I'm very close to a level on top of it. Hey, who blew out that candle? Hello? Is anyone there? Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. Oh, goodness me, that is an interesting looking sheep. I'm not sure people are going to be out this time of day, so I'm just going to move to morning. Oh, a lemon tree. Oh, how very nice. Start with you, sir. It is an honor. Ask you a question. Anything unusual? Can you believe it? Someone actually said they glimpsed a left worm roaming the countryside north of town. What rubbish. Not so much rubbish after I killed it. Question, anything hereabouts? I'm not one for evil stories, but a friend of a friend told me that this evil place northeast of here says it's cold even for in summertime. It smells of old dark magics. Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. I think I already found it. I think it might be referring to the ancient ruins or the cathedral. I think I can think off the top of my head. So far, nothing really of interest. Let's try over here. Looks like there's a blacksmith here, which looks interesting. Good old village blacksmiths. Yes, there is. There we go. Jesus. Hello, Mr. Blacksmith. Hey, you're one of those tech fellows. Yes. I can look at trade goods. Yeah, pretty much what I expected. I'll take his bullets, though. 20 of these? No, I guess he didn't. Large leather armor. Good we don't need any more. Pretty sure that there was another quest around here. Fairly sure. Otherwise we're going to have to go look in some ruins, I think. There's a lot of lemon trees around here. Hello, don't mind me. Question, news. A stranger. Ooh, that's promising. Where is this stranger? Then. Let's find out. We have a signpost there. I don't think I can read any of these. No. Oh, there's a gift shop. Oh, that's perfect. I know there's a gift shop around here. I think it's just a general store. Could be wrong, though. Hello! Shall we barter? I see a man of great wisdom stands before me. You've been most gracious. Let's barter. Yeah, aye, just a general store. That's expected. What about you? You have anything to tell me? Question, if we gossip in the town, a band of thieves hiding in the mountains near here. They were meant to be involved in a robbery at the inn. Very kind of you. Trying to find this chap, stranger, but all I found was the gift shop. It's pretty empty, considering. I'm a bit no, actually I'm a bit surprised. I'm not really that surprised. Could be over there. I guess it would make sense. It's the only place I have missed. Alright, we'll go over there then. There's also a road just here. I might actually investigate it first. If I have to run back here, I have to run back here. It's quite a nice little town, honestly. I'd live here. It'd be expensive, I think, but the road's kind of teeters off over here, doesn't it? Yeah, the road just disappears. Alright, we'll just fast travel back to Roseborough the other way. What's this place? I'm really annoyed I can't place markers on the map. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. What's your name, sir? I'm the captain of the Roseborough Guard. What can I help you with? Nothing at the moment. Bye. Right, we just need to check the house up here. Past the graveyard, and then we'll do a bit of grave robbing, just to wrap up our time here. I thought this place had more to it, I will say. I do remember them being a bit more to this area, I just never found it all. And I'm pretty convinced now that there really isn't that much here, barring the, here it is, the Greystone reads, here lies Philip Misk. Here lies Johnny Yeast. Pardon me for not rising. Oh, wow. Pardon me for not rising. That's incredible. Incredulous as well. Hello? Oh. Meddling as always. Can't you just leave me alone, human? Greetings, sir. You seem to agitated by your presence. What do you want, stranger? I'll ask some questions. He looks around thoughtfully, then speaks to you, sarcasm for every word. Does it look like a tavern to you? Oh, nope. Time, please. What do you want? Questions? Perhaps you would like a drink while holding a lengthy conversation. I have nothing to say to you. Now remove yourself from my home. Dr. Edmund Craig. No idea who this chap is, but he is, not helpful, that's for sure. Oh look, it's, evening, all of a sudden. It's the best time of a few more hours. Let's go back to him in the night. Let's see what he says about that. He probably will not be very happy to see me. Oh, it's locked. Can't see him at all. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo, don't mind me, I'm just coming down here to check on a friend's grave. I knew him so well, I want to see him one more time. That's the book. With a location. I want to level up, but let me get away first. Just in case. Just in case. Ooh. Oh, the cold place? Oh, I'm actually there, am I? Oh, shit. Well, let's level up first. What was I gonna level? Oh, it was repair, wasn't it? Yeah. Why was that so loud? Okay, whatever. And the location of Tensenang. I dedicate this to my dearest Raven. I would gladly face these horrors and 1,000 others for another moment with you. Ah, okay. Dearest reader, it is only with the greatest fear and trepidation I share this harrowing tale with you today. Even here, safe within the confines of my own home, I am still overcome with dread of the thought of what I am about to tell you. What it might mean for me and those close to me, and yet I feel compelled to do so, and the great muse guides my pen to this paper, and the words flow forth from the darkest regions of my heart and mind, where they have stayed well hidden until this very evening. I beg of you, give ear to my confession, and if it pleases you, take this tale from me and return only to your belief, and trust that trust what you're about to hear, and nothing only hears only and nothing but the truth. That did not roll off the tongue easy, but never mind. My name is Renford A. Terwilliger, born of an outlying regions of Ashbury, not far from the lair of Bellerogram, where they found the bones of the great dragon. My childhood was a bright one, full of happiness and light, and my parents gave to me all that a child might need. I was schooled both practically and excellently, and when my 18th year came around, I was accepted into Toronto University, and ultimately found my way into the Torontian Zoological Society. Archaeology was my first love, but my first assignment with society was with the Cultural Anthropology department. It was somewhat of a farce, actually, but the society had been given an enormous grant by one of the Toronto's leading philanthropists for a specific purpose. That purpose was to confirm the existence of the Dark Hells. Bates maybe funded this? Every man, woman, and child in Arcanum had been raised on the ghost stories and bedtime tales of these strange people known as the Dark Hells. Only as the Dark Hells. To an anthropologist, I cannot say that word. They are the verbal oasis in the desert. Proof of their existence has always literally disappeared into the air. No man has ever set eyes upon them, and not one shred of physical evidence had been found to establish that they were real. Myths and legends were plentiful, but for the itinerant scientists, these means less than nothing. What was needed was undeniable evidence, and I set out on this adventure with determination and a confidence in my ability to bring forth just that. Had I known what lay ahead, I would have forsworn both anthropology and philanthropy, and returned to the work as a day labourer in Ashbury shipyards. Better the back-breaking work than the nightmares I face every night. Before leaving Toronto, I employed the services of a certain Jaron Banal, an elven tracker who was recommended to me by the noble Quentin Payne. the noble Quentin Payne, a famed explorer and gentleman in every sense of the word. Jeren Banal had been born of the Glimmering Forest, and is said to be wasn't a more knowledgeable man about the deep elven groves than this side of the Stonewall Mountains. His fees were a little less than reasonable, but I had given an enormous liberty in spending the allotted funds, and in my honest opinion, Mr. Banal was crucial to the success of this mission. I couldn't have been more correct. Within weeks we were well within the deepest yet uncharted regions of the western glimmering. I keep on saying glimmering forest, but never mind. And never once did the unflappable Mr. Banal look to his compass or consult a map. Occasionally he would stand for a moment within a clearing or beneath a giant tree, head cocked, eyes closed, and aside from these infrequent moments of meditation, it was all we could do to keep up with him. Upon the 42nd day of our journey, we came to a great meadow, seemingly alive with a multitude of birds and butterflies that flew above it. Crossing this fragrant and lively field was one of the most vivid moments I've experienced on the journey so far. I was so enthralled with the scene around me that I almost missed the most spectacular vision given to the eyes of the mortal man. Kintara, the great elven tree city, lay within the towering trees at the end of the clearing, hanging like a cut jewel in the crown of a king. The mother tree, almost 400 feet tall, housed the intricately carved Hall of Truth, which shone white and smooth in the noonday sun. Impossibly thin walkways wove in and out of the burrows of the great tree, not taking away from its natural beauty, but adding to it, as if the city was merely a convenient and beautiful tangle of leaves and branches, tattooed with flowing runes and symbols in the ancient elven tongue. Among these, the graceful and lithe forms of the elves, singing their beautiful songs and looking down upon the ragtag group of men with curiosity and amusement. Of Kintara, I can say only this. The month I spent there was the best of my entire life. I learned much less of the Dark Elves than I would have liked, almost nothing at all really, but the moments I spent there were strange and wonderful and breathtaking, and I will not do them a disservice by attempting to put them into words. Suffice it to say, Suffice it to say that I learned there as a young man what often takes others a lifetime. Oh, I see. And to my teacher, I give a heartfelt thanks and the warmest greetings. There is not a day that goes by I did not think of you. We left the trees of Kintara, with little more than faint whispers about the Dark Elves and where they might be found. The Elves of Kintara were very reluctant to speak of them, and they begged us to forget such foolishness and go home to Durant. I, of course, would hear no such talks, and we travelled on, north, this time. Mr. Banal believed he had uncovered a clue to their whereabouts during his investigations while in Kintara, and we had discovered the name Tenzin Ang, the home of the Dark Elves. We travelled for 17 more days, exhausting our supplies and sending most of our party back to Durant. The forest had become thicker and brambly, and it seemed that many of the trees were adorned with thorns, some more than a foot long. Oof. Another week and it was only Mr. Banal and myself, and we agreed to return before the first of the month, if we had failed to find any evidence of the Dark Elves' existence. This gives us 6 days to find Tenzin Ang. We pressed on despite our anxiety and fatigue. On the day before we had to plan to return, the weather took a vicious turn. From out of the north came dark thunderheads, and lightning flew down the sky like barbed lances of white fire. Ooh, nice way of putting it. It began to rain, and we found an uneasy shelter beneath the massive roots of the giant trees, which were seen poised over us, like a giant and grotesquely gnarled hand. I was shivering, and not altogether from the cold and rain. Weird shadows played against the trunks of the trees. The storm strengthened, and the lightning became more frequent. Thunder tore the sky above our heads. I looked at Mr. Banal, and for the first time since we left Durant, I saw fear reflected in his eyes. I can't say when I became aware of them, But one moment, while looking through the rain, I began to notice shadows that swayed even after the lightning had subdued. Those shadows became phantoms, the phantoms something worse. They were stock still, tall and weary. Ghostly faces of color of ivory. Ghostly faces, the color of ivory, and the eyes of the blackest night. Their hair hung in the limp strands against their foreheads and cheeks, and they stood unblinkingly oblivious to the storm and its ragings. Banal screamed something to my right, and then pushed boldly from our shelter to the roots above. He screamed once more, and then silent. I never heard or saw him again. I ran headlong past the elves in front of me, swinging blindly to clear a path. I was mad with fear, and my feet carried me deeper into the forest. I thought I heard dark and twisted laughter above and behind me, and the shadowy figures darted among the trees left and right. Thorns tore my arms and legs, and I stumbled. Oops. I thought I turned it off. My bad. Thorns torn at my arms and legs, and I stumbled among stones and the underbrush, screaming incoherently. More than once, great elven arrows sunk into the trees around me, grazing my skin as they flew by. They were playing with me, enjoying the hunt, waiting for just the right moment. My head was light from exhaustion and blood loss. I fell to my knees, gasping for air. And when I looked up, I saw it. There in the trees above me was Tensenang, the home of the Dark Elves. Unlike Kintara, Tensenang was an abomination, slouched in the branches, like a great beast waiting for its prey. There were sputtering fires all along its battlements, and great spikes protruding from every surface like dragon spines. I saw robed figures, gaunt and terrible, lined along its walkways and looking down upon me, beckoning. It seemed for me to join them. I screamed again, and the figures seemed to raise their voices in unison, a terrible call without sound or meaning, but I heard them nonetheless. They were cursing me. They were welcoming me. In moments I was surrounded again by my pursuers, through the downpour I saw them unsheath their daggers, their ghoulish smiles floating towards me as the thunder roared above. I closed my eyes, praying to whatever god would hear me. There was nothing else I could do. And then, from nowhere, arrows were flying from behind me, above me. In moments I was encircled, completely with half-buried shafts and the thickest hunting arrows. The dark elves around me swirled and to and fro in confusion. One pulled his bow from his back and notched an arrow into one flowing movement, but was shot through the heart before he raised it past his shoulder. He fell silently, unbelieving. The others looked at me for a moment, the purest hatred harbored in their eyes, and then disappeared into the night. Sorry, I didn't see the full stop there. Hands conspicuously at their sides. Amazed and spent, I finished. I fainted. Okay, God. I woke some days later, many miles from the northern reaches of the Glimmering. I was alone, but my wounds had been treated. My supplies had been replenished. I was back in Tehran not 2 weeks later. I never met my rescuers, but I can guess who they were and where they were from. I sank them, and if they were reading this without their aid, I would have died there in the shadows of Tensenang. And so, dear friend, I beg you to believe these words and the man who had told them to you. I do so only to share the burden with others, to gain comfort among those of my kind. At the very least, let these words stand as a warning to you. Often evil is a tangible thing, and sometimes it is the people and a place, such as the Dark Elves, and such as the hell they call their home. I have never returned to the Glimmering Forest, and I pray I never do. Some things are better left alone. That was really fucking good. Holy shit, that has also annihilated my throat, but never mind. That was great. That was just amazing. But more importantly, we now have a location to go to. Tensenang, the home of the Dark Hells. But first, I think a bit of exploring might be the best thing to do. I'll see you later. Toodles!